Hello, Jess. Plain truth. Damn it. No, not quite first. Well, good morning from the lake. Phuket Elephant Nursery. Oh. How are you all doing, all right? Yes, elephants. 3 of them here. These are 3 of the residents. There's 2 more up in the forest there. Oh, I think this one's about to poop. Would you like to see that? There you go. Nice bit of fertilizer for you. Execrate. Hello, mate. Hope you're all right. Oh, check it out. It's lying down. There you go. Oh, look at that. It is Mahout. That's Gratin, the 5-year-old, with her Mahout. Having some breakfast there. Okay, and there's the other Mahout for one of the other elephants. So, there you go. Hope you're not having some breakfast. Oh, let's see what he's doing with this guy. So this is my office for the day. All right, so I'll share this lovely scenery with you. It's lovely to come to work and see this. Yeah. Oh. All right, having a good scratch there, that one. Nice to see them just roaming about, doing their own thing, isn't it? They've got some banana leaves there. Notice what they do when they grab a banana leaf is they strip it down, and they eat the leaf, but not the bit in the middle. Gratin's very playful, but you don't want to start playing with elephants because they're it's like they don't realize their own strength. Well, they know their own strength, but they're usually stronger than us. Yeah. Just get a bit over here. I was planning on doing some other videos, but I thought grab this one for now. Just sit and chill, have a chat. Yeah. I'll just maybe chat and leave this running. Let you see the elephants there. Nature is a great teacher, isn't it? From Aesop's fables to Tao, Zen. Aww. Yeah, the guy's very nice there. We have a lovely relationship. Yeah. So, there's some flowing water. And if you are a truth seeker, of course, you see a lot of, well, there's always a lot of questions that remain unanswered, but there's also a lot of answers we get from nature, aren't there? And we can watch animals and things. It's funny, we often behave just like them, or animals have certain traits that we're familiar with as humans. But we often don't recognize when these things that we see animals doing happening to ourselves. I'm always amazed how agile they are. You know, these guys can run at quite a trot. You know, and then they climb over things and stuff. I mean, you might have seen some of those. There are some kind of cruel things where they get elephants balancing and things like that. But yeah, they are very agile. Yeah. Oh, actually. Oh. Wow. Hơi phọt trời. Ôi xiềng nước của ngân đó, tôi lách nè. Have a little play of it, have a little game over there. Yeah. Of course, sometimes they come across this stream here and they start grabbing. They start grabbing this kind of stuff. So you've got to keep them from grabbing that. Yeah, they get very naughty, but they know what they're allowed to do or not allowed to do. Yeah. But yeah, I'm kind of like trying to spend a bit more time here now, just trying to help get these guys some more recognition and stuff. And really, the other day, if you haven't seen it, hello, who's that? Chad Preston, official 3. Wow, that's a long handle, but yeah. When I saw, you see, okay, let's put it this way. It's unavoidable that elephants will be employed. They always are employed in some form or another. And so here is an opportunity for them to be, say, employed, but employed in a way that obviously gives them freedom, space, plenty of food, and just allows them to be elephants. Hello, George. So I'm going to just try and get a better view here. Yeah, just see the scene. Yeah, and this is wonderful to see, but of course it requires money and it requires visitors, and so really. Oh, hello, you're in Bangkok. Hi, yes, okay, nice one. Well, come on down to Phuket. It's lovely down here. Yeah. It's interesting, just off topic, I was talking to my wife. Well, I mean, it's something we've talked about a lot often, but she's from the country, nowhere near the sea. Of course, Phuket is near the sea, but she's from up country, up in northeast. And she's always had this kind of vision or thought or something of, he's just asking for more banana. He knows the mahout's got bananas there, just asking for more. Yeah, she's always had this vision of a wall of water since she was a kid that just kind of swallows everything up. Now you could consider that maybe a past life experience, some kind of hidden memory or a premonition or whatever, I don't know. I think about it a lot though, the whole reincarnation thing. Do we just repeat? Do we re-emerge as other animals? Do we carry out our karma? And something I was interested, I heard someone say the other day, just in passing to his kids, there was some, pigs strapped into a truck that were obviously off to the slaughterhouse. You often see that here. I think here as well, that's one difference about somewhere like the UK, for example, you see raw life, raw nature, and so yeah, you'll see, for example, pigs in a tied up. It's very sad. I never like to see it. In the truck. But then I heard this father saying to his son, as the son was watching these pigs. That's the animal's life. That's he, in Thai just said, "Oh, Jeewit Satna," like animals like that, especially, for example, those kinds of animals, they get a raw deal. They're born into this raw deal. And they're essentially, I suppose, the belief is that in a way they're living out their karma. Yeah. And that's kind of, who knows what's really happening there. So here we have we have a small group of people here. This is how we like to do things here. It's just small groups, and so they've prepared some food there. So they're taught about how to interact with the elephants a bit first, given a bit of a talk, and then they come and give these guys food, make friends with them. And then they'll go off and they'll find some more. There's some more elephants off in the forest there, which they'll go and find. Yeah. Elephants spend about 2/3 of the day eating. So, obviously, and frankly, this is how they are. Just like a pet dog or something, you train it with treats. Yeah. There's no need to get violent. There's no need to hit it. And so, yeah, it's the kindest way to treat them is with rewards. Yeah. What's that? Execrate? It's hilarious. All this focus on letting chickens and fish and wildlife in general all left alone. Let it all be free and natural, but people not yet filthy human. You don't get to. Yeah. You can all get locked down in a 15-minute city, eh? Ah, so true. I'm doing a live broadcast. So my daughter is kind of helping out here, coming along, getting some experience. Yeah, it's interesting to see what's happening in the World Economic Forum. I don't listen to it much, but then you listen to these people like what was it, the former Prime Minister of England, what was his name, Tony Blair. And then Al Gore and stuff. These guys are in their own little world of what they believe is it's mental what they're promoting, isn't it? They're literally saying, we've got to do this, got to do that to control everyone. And talking about these plans that they have with their vested interests as if everyone's just going to follow suit. And let their freedoms be taken away. Absolutely nuts. And of course, you could focus on that too much as well, and you would end up thinking that, oh my God, the end is nigh. They're all gonna, but it's just like anything. It's just like any. Hello, Yo Mama. Hi, Joe Mama. It's like anything, isn't it? People have their agendas, but I'm sure you've worked with or know people that have had agendas and wanted to, they've had plans to do this or that. And the wonderful thing about humans is that although yes, we can see very clearly that humans as a rule, as a crowd, are very predictable, and a certain number, or you could even maybe stick a number like 70 or 80% of the population will go along with something, and you can actually create a cultural norm, consensus, manufactured consensus and stuff. But there'll always be people like yourselves, those who are closer to nature and reality than the systems and the constructs that we create with, psychopathic minds. Yeah, you're right, Joe Mama. Yeah, the behavior of the herd forever surprises you. They often do just what they're told. Absolutely. And of course, we're talking about faith. We're talking about, and this is it, they've obviously, these people that are trying to be in control or in charge know this, and they rely on that. Just like a farmer knows that, the herd will go a certain direction. And it's amazing to watch, isn't it? And that's the thing, isn't it? That's what it is. That's what awakening is all about, isn't it? You see that, you awaken to these controls and the herd mentality, and then you start to realize that, well, I suppose at first you realize that you might have been convinced or swayed by certain things, and you've gone along with certain things, and then that gives you the ability to detach, doesn't it, and be independent of that, and not be so much affected, not be swept up. I mean, I was someone having a debate with, well, not really a debate, but one of these globers on Twitter, we kind of so I said, and of course they love to say, oh, science, I believe the science. And it's like, well, where's the science? And so I asked this guy, so do you believe in the science behind well, I can't remember exactly what my question was, but basically, did you get jabbed? And yeah, this guy was, it was like, this is just the other day. So this guy said, yeah, I got my 4th one on Friday. And I'm like, wow. And yeah, because I believe the science. And so, you have these people that really, despite the information being out there, despite even people in authority, doctors, etc. Yeah. Telling you that these are causing problems. And of course, this is it. We've just seen, if you're a so-called flat earther or a truth seeker or whatever, you're awake to this. You'll have seen just the onslaught, the propaganda for what it is. The coordinated effort of governments coming together. It's funny, isn't it? You've got the Antarctic Treaty, you've got world wars, and you've got the Rona narrative, and the heliocentric model, and all that stuff, space and everything. These are all just industries. We know that, and there's with this coordinated efforts with that propaganda. And they really do just get swept along with it. And of course, if you're awake before the Rona, you'll have seen it plain as day, the scripts that were being put out there, and that, of course, I think it was probably horrifying for us, a lot of us, to it was another wake-up call in a way that wow, that herd mentality is really there. It's really. And they really they really work the crowd in that respect, don't they? And it's so sad to see. And of course, what a lot of these people don't understand is that when you're asking people to question it and just stop and think and point out the negative impacts of any of these things that they're trying to introduce, they, we're doing it. It's with benevolent intention. It's like you're trying to prevent people becoming enslaved, or you're trying to help people become free from all these things that are enslaving them, be more natural. And I suppose that's the thing, isn't it? What we see going on with the WEF and the T rollout and all that thing is this massive coordinated effort to denaturalize us, to put us into these pens and domesticate us, and just remove us from nature as much as possible. And so, yeah, you become, if your genes are being altered, you become GMO, like a plant. There's GMO bananas, for example. There was a big thing in Thailand a long time ago about they wanted to introduce GMO papayas, and it's like, no, we're going to keep our papayas with the seeds. We're not going to have these GMO papayas because they are unnatural. They become artificial. They become they become property. They become patentable. That's the thing. You can't patent these live, living things, these natural things. But yeah, so what's happened to all these people that have had their the DNA and the genes that they were born with? They are not natural people anymore. They could well be considered as property. They've been genetically altered. Yeah. And for people to just embrace this unquestioningly, and of course, it is interesting, isn't it? You see how people will defend it so vehemently. Again, you're just trying to be reasonable and say, "Hang on a minute," and it, if you believe in evolution, we've gotten this far over millions and billions of years. But then you'll trust the so-called scientists or the people pushing what they call science. Kudos to those guys that are at Davos at the moment, like Rebel News, doing some great stuff, catching these people and asking them the hard questions. Yeah, what's that, Joe Mama? Perfectly healthy, beautiful people complete with a God-given brain, lining up by the thousands, standing 6 feet apart and accepting mystery injections on the orders from their television. Absolutely insane, isn't it? It's mental. And they'll even see people being carried out on a gurney, and they'll still just sit there. It's so weird. But we've seen it. What is it? Is the Milson? I can't remember if I'm saying it right. The Milson, and there was the Ash experiments. And again, if you're interested in that. In the psychology, the herd mentality, and then you'll see it in these experiments. That's the thing. They've done these experiments and shown that people will follow the herd. Yeah, they'll deny facts. They'll ignore reality. That's amazing. Yeah, it is amazing. It's very sad. It's very sad to see. So, and this is nice, this is nice in a way. Okay, so, I mean, here we have. So I was going to say earlier on, there's no avoiding the fact that these elephants, if they were not here, they would be in if they're lucky, they might be in a tourist show, but then, well, that's not necessarily lucky because they would just end up being chained up all day until they go on stage. Yeah, or they would be hauling logs, sometimes getting transported. The logging's illegal in Thailand now, but because all the teak wood was pretty much gone, and there was some big floods back in the 80s, and so they banned logging, and so logging with elephants, thousands of elephants were employed in the logging industry, and whether they were treated nicely or not or whatever is obviously that would come down to the people they were working with or for, but that's it. Without this place, then these elephants would be employed in that kind of work, and they might be getting shoved around with hooks and chained up and stuff like that. So here, they get as much freedom as is possible, and they, of course, the part of their job is to interact with humans, but that's about the extent of it really. That's all they have to do, and they then kind of have, and they just apart from that, they spend a lot of time just together and hanging out together. Yeah. And of course they end up just like any other kind of domestic animal. They have these relationships with their owners, and yeah, and it really depends whether the owner's going to treat them badly or nicely, just like any other person looking after a dog or a cat or whatever, but yeah. So when I saw the other day the two elephants that had been away coming back, hello Melody, hi, and really just being absolutely thrilled to be back here. I mean, they were ecstatic. Their tails were up in the air and they were trumpeting and making all these sounds, and they ran to the lake down there. It was absolutely wonderful to see. Yeah. Oh, I'm glad to be able to show this to you, Melody. Yeah. I won't get too. If I go over there, I'll probably lose the Wi-Fi signal. So, yeah. I feel. Yeah. So for me, it's like, this is it's become more of a mission to me to help keep these animals here. COVID was, it affected so many people on so many levels, and it affected these as well. For what, Again, we could see that the whole narrative was designed to get the needles in arms. Yeah, that was the whole thing. And you can't come out, and you can't do this, you can't do that. The threats and all this stuff. And these creatures suffered. Yeah, the people, everyone suffered. For what? For some small group's agenda. For basically, a corporate agenda. Yeah, dictated by a small number of people onto the herd. But yes, what was frightening was that herd mentality, and hopefully it has woken more up. But of course, as many of you know, it's a gradual process. There isn't necessarily one enlightening moment, and even if there is one enlightening moment, you don't stay that way. It's very easy to sink back into the kind of the herd mentality again, or what we're used to, I suppose, isn't it? So oh, hi CC, good to see you, my man. Chris from New York, hope you're doing all right, my man. You do attract the trolls, don't you, CC? Whenever I go and comment on your videos, I get a whole string of them. All the people I banned from my channel, they come and pile on. It's quite funny. But this is it, you see. You don't see any change in their mentality. Absolutely nothing. Repeat the same assumptions. Thanks, man. And this is what we see. We see that herd mentality playing out. And over the years we've been doing this, 5, 6, 7 years, you don't see any change in their attitude. You don't see any ability to learn anything, where I'm sure a lot of us have come on in many different ways. You see what the elephant's doing there. When they pick up something, he's whacking it against her. She's whacking it against her legs to get off the dirt. Yeah, before eating it. Yeah. So everything they eat, they have a method of eating it. If pineapples, they put the pineapple in their mouth, and then they use their trunk to take off the tip, the leaves on the top. If it's the banana leaf, like one of these big leaves, yeah, they grab the whole thing, hold it in their trunk, and then what is it? No, I can't. Yeah, hold the stem in the mouth, and then take the trunk down it like you would go. And so they gather up all the. Oh, man, I'm losing. Okay, I gotta say goodbye because my battery's running out. Okay, hang on a minute. Ugh. Hang on a sec. Oh. Right, sorry about that. Hang on.
All right. Yeah, the screen went blank there because the battery's down to 5%. So I'm going to have to leave it there, chaps. And let's try and catch up over the weekend. Execrate. Yeah, you're right, man. Execrate. Many choose not to be unplugged from the construct, the model. Willfully choose. Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? You know how we're in this yeah, it's mad because this life is so magical, so amazing, so diverse, so unique. Yet we fall into these patterns of behavior and mostly based on fear. And of course, we know that's what we're taught. But anyway, I'm going to leave this here because the battery won't withstand it. I'm just getting a dark screen now. So everyone take care for now. We'll catch up soon, yeah? Hope you're going to have a wonderful weekend. All right, so goodbye from me. We'll catch up soon. Cheers.